For those of you who don't know, I'm working on a Kingdom Hearts inspired game, and for over a year now, I've been documenting my development of the game in these devlogs. Previously, I talked about how I switched my game to become an open world game that's inspired by games like Short Hike, Little Gator Game, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Genshin Impact. But after several months of working on this open world style game, I realized that it's not really the type of game that I would like to develop. I do really enjoy playing open world games, but developing them is a whole other story. For a while I was unsure if I should stick to the open world design or if I should switch to another style. And so for a weekend, I tried to design a small game area that's more closed and compact, similar to traditional 3D platformer games. And after creating that, I realized that I really love this style of level design and world design, where it's more compact, which does feel more limiting. But actually with limitation, a lot of creativity comes out, and I'm able to make much more interesting platforming challenges that greatly enhances the gameplay and the world exploration. And so I decided to switch to a more enclosed style of world design, where the gameplay and exploration is a little bit more linear, but still has elements of Metroidvania style exploration, where you explore different areas at different times in the game depending on the abilities and progression you've had so far in the game. And I really feel this style of gameplay is much more fun to develop. Additionally, I feel much more confident to be able to design a story around this kind of world design that is more compact and works better with the story that I want to tell. So after I made this big decision to switch to a more enclosed world design, I started to build a more concrete vision and idea for the game. And the game is heavily inspired by Kingdom Hearts, but which part exactly are they inspired by, and which Kingdom Hearts game exactly does it draw inspiration from? And so I decided to focus on the 3D platforming and exploration of Kingdom Hearts 1 and the complex, intricate combat system of Kingdom Hearts 2, and combine those both into one game. And aside from Kingdom Hearts, I'll be drawing many other inspirations from other games and media out there. Well, I'll be drawing a lot of inspiration from different Final Fantasy games that I've played over the years for the character design and world design. Additionally, a lot of the story and characters will also be heavily inspired by the Digimon franchise, specifically Digimon Adventure 1 and 2, which was one of my favorite animes that I used to watch growing up and I still love to this date. And now that I have started getting a better idea of the game design, I wanted to put all of them together into one place so I can stick to a vision and not stray away from it too much. And so I started to use Milanote, which is a really great website for planning and documenting any kind of project, and specifically for games. And in it I started to put together the game loop, all different mechanics and designs, and I also started to research different kind of art styles for the game from different games I grew up playing, and that gave me a much better idea of the scope of the game and how much is required of me to make it, and if it's even possible for a solo developer to make it. So this has helped me a lot to get a better idea of the scale of this game and how big I should make it. So with this more compact world design, I wanted to have different smaller areas in each realm that the player can travel between. And for that I would need a transition system. And so I developed a transition system where you can go between different areas of the game. Then I implemented a really crucial system, which is the save system, with a save point that you can go to save your game and be able to load different save slots depending on the different game modes you chose. And it also saves all your progress with the XP level and gold you've gained so far in the game. This took quite some time to get right because sometimes the treasure chests in other rooms don't get saved, and it made me realize how the save system is quite complex, but thankfully I was able to pull it off. And now with the current demo, everything in the game saves properly and you're able to load from different save files. Then I spent over 2 weeks working on a complex pause menu where you can see your progress for the game, and I also finally added a highly requested feature, which is a settings menu with camera settings and also settings for the video of your PC, so you can set your graphics quality, frame rate, and a bunch of other things. I've had many people complain that their PC was a bit too slow to run the game, and with this they can finally play the game on whatever PC they have. And I've even tested it in an old laptop with a not so good graphics card, and the game ran totally fine at 60 frames per second. And I also added audio settings, but there's still no sound effects for the game or music aside from the main menu music. So for now the audio settings might not be as useful, but I've implemented it for the future once I have all kinds of music and sound effects implemented in the game. You can now also add Luminous Realms to your wishlist on Steam. I've also implemented a really important system that will help me tell the story of the game and flesh out each realm with NPCs that you can talk to and have dialogue options to reply with. With this, I'll be able to put all kinds of NPCs all around each realm that will tell stories of the world they are in, and also give you different kind of challenges and quests so you can help them with problems they're going through, while them also helping you through your journey. And the latest system I've implemented is a guard system that helps you guard against enemy attacks. This adds a whole new layer of strategy to the combat system, and I think it will start making things much more interesting when fighting more tougher enemies and bosses in the game. And as you guys remember, I previously showcased my game at another event last year where I only had the arena mode mode that people could play, where they could only experience the combat system. And that was fine in itself, but I saw a huge difference when they had the chance to play a whole level and to walk around, explore. And that really shows how combining 3D platforming with action combat mechanics can create a really interesting game where people can enjoy all kinds of different things, such as 3D platforming, exploration, doing quests, action RPG combat, and a bunch of other things. And I got the chance to showcase my game just a few weeks after I did that weekend test where I built the small compact stage, and that really proved to me that this path is much better than the open world idea I had previously. By the way, did you know you can play Luminous Realms as I'm developing it by joining my Discord, where you can discuss and give feedback on the game with everyone? Also, if you want to support the development of Luminous Realms, you can go to my Patreon, where you can get early sneak peeks of the game's progress, concept art, alongside other updates. You also get a shout out in my videos and get your name in the game's credits. Speaking of shoutouts, I'd like to thank my gold patrons, Legend64, Ejaz, Rat Poison, Cobra Code, Shane Keir, Clinically Unfunny, Brett Chronic, Supersanic, Nathan Osworth, Carrick Lamb, Muhammad Nabil Al-Layafi, Max Tier, Marmagule, and Brian. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!